That guy literally thought that was real. Oh my God. It says Sora right there, bro. Oh my God. We're so cooked. Oh my God. It's so cooked. We're so cooked. Everything sucks. This is the most expected story of the day. Republicans have decided to take advantage of Sora, artificial intelligence AI, to make these Snap recipients, angry Snap recipient videos.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I get over $2,500 a month in stamps. I sell them $2,000 worth for about $1,200 to $1,500 cash. That's why everybody's upset. Folks say we're taking advantage, but that's how we get by.
And that's the frustration we're hearing out here in downtown Atlanta.
The Sora AI logo can be seen appearing in the upper left corner of the video. Additionally, the car behind the speakers is not a real car in production by any known company. The video's AI generated 15,000 likes. Title is, Lady gets $2,500 a month, Snap food stamps, and she sells all of them for $1,200 a month. What an absolute scam. It took longer than I expected. I mean, this is the primary function of AI, right? Because conservatives love making up an alternative reality. And because there's no like real life examples they can point to, now they have a tool where they can basically make it up and then get angry at the thing that they made up. What a perfect tool for conservative mania.
5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids. They cutting off EBT since the shutdown. I can't use EBT in November. I got 7 kids with 7 daddies. Who's supposed to feed them? Them men ain't paying for nothing. They cut my mother food stamps to $85 from $738. That's supposed to support a household of 3.
You know, I didn't really notice all the issues with the EBT stuff because I've been too busy working. Like every time I go to the grocery store, my card cleared. My debit card, credit card, doesn't matter what card I use. I work 7 days a week and I've just never even really cared. This is why people don't care about EBT going away. They don't care about it.
I think people need to understand what's going on here. If you are a right-wing creator on this app, your algorithm for the last 2, maybe 2.5 weeks has been nothing but these videos of supposed Snap recipients freaking out about losing their benefits and saying these genuinely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't subtle racism. What do you guys think welfare queens was? That's what this is. That's why they're black women for the most part. That's why there's all these mentions about having 7 children with 7 different baby daddies. That's why they act as though they're getting thousands of dollars sometimes in SNAP funds from the government. And it's all just made up. SNAP subsidies are not that expensive for the most part. It's just additional. It's additional aid, nutritional aid, food assistance. And yes, all of those videos that you guys saw were actually made up. They were AI. Those were all AI videos. The white guy responding to them was some racist dumbass who is a real Republican. And his response was, oh, I work, so I don't need SNAP. Not realizing that there are more white Americans on SNAP than there are black Americans. Okay? It's so dumb. Classic example, though. Classic example of the Lee Atwater conundrum. Look.
It's made by impossible_ASMR1, who, after 8 failed slot posts and a 3-month break, decided that Sora could finally make their dream content. Videos of black women trying to use EBT in places it's not accepted. True creativity unleashed by AI. The shutdown created an opportunity to have them yell at the camera, but it's not till the whole family's back there that the full racist stereotype is fulfilled. This is rage bait, and we'll get angry commenters who, when they learn it's AI, will say, oh, but it's true anyway, which of course...
Yeah, that's the other thing. Oh, well, it depicts a reality. That's the coward's version of this, where it's like, well, you say it's AI, but like it technically depicts the reality, right?
Of course it's not, and that's cope for being played. They were so played they didn't notice the kid missing half an arm while the other kids are frozen in place for no reason, and these down here are warping together. They were too focused on this fake AI. This is cramming in a script that they used 3 other times for their other fake AI people. I will gladly knock down AI rage bait of all kinds and from anywhere on the spectrum because it's part of the same problem. Casually letting our feed slip into fake, parallel AI universes that exist only to divide us. This is a script that they used 3 other times for their other fake AI people. I will gladly knock down AI rage bait of all kinds.
Yeah, this is the same one. Remember months ago when YouTube was running these ads talking about how the government was giving away benefit cards to migrants being marketed towards black women? This is the next logical step. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, but here's the AI
Things
stuff.
like-
Is there? There's, I assume, more as well. This guy goes into more.
Because of this government shutdown, they telling me I can't use my EBT in November. I got 7 kids with 7 men. 7! And that's the taxpayer's responsibility, okay? Y'all taxpayers, do you hear me? Since this government shut down, I can't use my EBT in November. I got 7 kids with 7 different men. How I'm supposed to feed them? This is not on me. This is y'all taxpayers' responsibility. Y'all better taxpayers. They couldn't.
It's like so obviously written. It's so obviously written by a conservative. Like, it's not my fault. It's the government taxpayers' responsibility. Like, ugh.
EBT since the shutdown. I can't use EBT in November. I got 7 kids with 7 daddies. Who's supposed to feed them? I just got the alert from my EBT app. November, no benefits. I got 7 kids. 7. What they expect me to do? We can't even buy cereal. No.
I'm not sure if they're taking videos from real people and using their face to make AI, but that shit looks.
Shout out to that last creator. Go follow her because she put that together, that montage. It's the same fucking video. It's AI. It's the same script. It's you type in angry black.
They're too mad to write a good script. I mean, other choice words would be, oh, I love buying alcohol with my EBT. Like I'm thinking of like, what are the other things that like Republicans fantasize about that like black people do in their minds as they are taking advantage of the social safety nets that exist. Yeah, I love buying soda and getting fat. Meanwhile, the guy who's like on the other side is just as fat, but just angry. I love buying cigarettes. I have a Mercedes-Benz vehicle that I put all of my EBT purchase groceries into. That's another one. That's another common one. Welfare queens, you mean? Yes, that is the trope. That is the racialized trope. And it's a perfect example of how white people who also rely on these programs unironically advocate against them because they think black people are taking advantage of it. That's how you get poor white people to advocate against their best interest by making them fantasize about black people somehow also taking advantage of the very same programs that they are literally using. Yeah, why are our tax dollars subsidizing lobster for SNAP recipients? Why do you get to have a say, man? Why do you think you get to have a say? I don't understand it. There's this one as well. This is from the same lady who first posted the AI. This lady might be a bot herself, actually, now that I think about it. America spends $7.8 billion monthly on SNAP. If illegals were removed from SNAP, the cost would reduce 70%. If all benefits were cut off, they would leave. 45% of all Afghanis living in America receive free food from you. Is this your American dream? Because it sure isn't mine. Food stamps by ethnicity. What the f? Wait, what am I looking at? Yeah, white with the American flag next to it, only 8.6% of food stamps. What is this, bro? Grok, is this true? Wait, let's see what Grok said. SNAP spending averages around $8 billion monthly. So the figure is close. Undocumented immigrants are ineligible for SNAP benefits directly, though mixed status households with eligible U.S. citizens like children can receive aid. Meaning, removal wouldn't slash costs by 70%. Non-citizens account for under 10% of recipients per USDA data. High welfare use among Afghan refugees exists due to the eligibility rules and low incomes, but the 45% SNAP figure stems from unverified viral claims rather than official stats. Refugees often qualify after initial periods. Cutting benefits might deter some migration, but evidence is anecdotal. What is this? I'm all for tightening down hard on illegal immigration, but we literally bombed out of Afghans for 20 years. So yeah, if anyone deserves free food from me, it's probably them. Oh my God, this is a woke Republican? No, these guys hate Grok too. They think Grok is woke because it's still literally geared off of existing search engines. So yes, of course, because unfortunately for many Republicans, the truth does have somewhat of a left bias, somewhat of a woke bias, if you will. Don't worry, Elon will tweak it again. So the Grok says that yes, Afghans are the only people that use the SNAP benefits and no one else. Wait, Israeli higher than white? Oh my God. Wait. Wait a minute. Indian at 4.4%. Pakistani at 13%. I kind of feel like I know where this graph was written. Now, I know Indians in America are some of the wealthiest minority groups in this country. But let's just say this is awfully suspicious. I mean, I don't think any of this is real anyway, but it's true. It's not saying what you think it says. These are percents of the ethnicities, not of total Snap users. It's true. It's not saying what you think it says. What do you mean? These are percentages of the ethnicities, not of total Snap users. Are you saying out of like all Afghan households, 45% of U.S. Afghan households are taking advantage of SNAP benefits? Is that what you're saying? Is that what the argument is? Is that what the argument they're making? Even that doesn't seem like that would be correct. I mean, but that also doesn't mean anything. Again, how many Afghan households are in the United States of America? Who gives a shit if it's 45% of Afghan refugees out of all of the Afghan households in this country? That is a tiny, minuscule percentage of overall SNAP recipients. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, okay, that makes more sense. It ends up being 0.2% of total SNAP beneficiaries. Yeah. Of course, the reason why this is cooked is because they are making the argument that illegals are making are taking advantage of 70% of all SNAP recipients. Fact checking a viral U.S. food stamps recipient race ethnicity. This is from 29th of October. The groups were labeled by nationalities such as Afghan, Somali, Iraqi, along with racial groups white, black, and native. The chart appeared to show that Afghan people were the largest group receiving SNAP benefits at 45.6%. Followed by Somali and Iraqi. White people represented on the chart with the U.S. flag were third to last at 8.6%. Yeah, except white is the largest fucking group of people on this list. Of course it's going to be the tiniest number. It's so stupid. America is 66% white. 8% of 66% of the entire country is going to be a much larger number than 45% of all Afghan people on U.S. soil. Like, infinitely larger. The number of Afghan people on U.S. soil is like, what, less than 1%? Yeah, of course, white people are the largest racial group receiving SNAP benefits at 35.4%. African Americans are next, making up 25.7% of recipients, then Hispanic people at 15.6%, Asian people at 3.9%, Native Americans at 1.3%, multiracial people at 1%. The race of 17% of participants is unknown. Quoting tweet from 1776 General. You don't understand racist math? I don't think they understand racist math. Yeah, also, this is correct. This is not a graph of food stamp recipients by ethnicity. It's ethnicity by share of its population who are food stamp recipients. And there are, the smaller the number of people are, okay, bracketed in this group, the smaller the number of people are in this group, the larger the percentage is going to be. This is a perfect demonstration of lying with statistics. The chart doesn't show the full picture of SNAP recipients by race or ethnicity. The most reliable source of breakdown of SNAP recipients by demographics comes from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. According to the most recent USDA data available from 2023, white people are the largest racial group receiving SNAP benefits at 35.4%. African Americans are next, making up 25.7% of recipients. Then Hispanic people at 15.6%, Asian people at 3.9%, Native Americans at 1.3%. By the way, none of these people are undocumented. If a household that has an undocumented parent is receiving SNAP benefits, that means that household has a documented American citizen in it. Okay? That's it. That's it. So just make no mistake. Same report found that 89.4% of SNAP recipients were U.S.-born citizens, meaning less than 11% of SNAP participants were foreign-born. And by the way, if they're foreign-born, that means they are still American citizens, or of the latter figure, 6.2 were naturalized American citizens, 1.1% were refugees, and 3.3% were other non-citizens, including lawful permanent residents and other eligible non-citizens. So it's a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage. Okay. While large shares of groups listed in the chart may receive food stamps, they are certainly a tiny share of households and spending on SNAP, said Tracy Roof. Survey data shows an incomplete picture on SNAP recipients. The chart shared on social media originated from a June blog post from the Personal Finance Wizards, which cited the U.S. Census table SO201 as a source. The site offers financial advice but publishes a disclaimer saying it cannot guarantee the completeness or accuracy. Site's authors appear to cherry-pick groups to include in the data chart, noting it's important to note that the graph highlights a selection of ethnicities we felt would be most relevant and engaging for our audience. So the amount of Afghani SNAP recipients, about 1 million people total? No, I don't even think so. How many Afghan... no, less than that. Number of Afghan nationals in U.S. No, it's 45% of the estimated 200 to 250,000. There are around 200 Afghan nationals on U.S. soil. Okay? 200,000, which means the number of SNAP recipients, many of which are refugees, by the way, okay, which means the number of households that are receiving SNAP benefits would be 50 or 45,000, and the number of Afghan nationals living on U.S. soil under refugee status that are receiving SNAP benefits would be a little less than 100,000. Brother, you know what per capita is? Who cares about the specific number of human beings? Is showing that a majority of individuals coming from those regions are receiving benefits. That adds up quickly. Okay, let's say there's a major crisis in Bhutan and we caused it, okay? But because the overall number of people living in Bhutan is fairly low, or rather the amount of people that we're bringing in from Bhutan is also relatively low, we bring in 5 people from Bhutan to the United States of America, and we give 100% of those 5 people SNAP recipients. Would your dumbass also turn around and be like, well, 100% of people from Bhutan got SNAP recipients? Well, it adds up. No, you wouldn't, because you're not a help. That's 100%. It's a big number. America has 330 million people on U.S. soil, and you're talking about 100,000 refugees, brother. Refugees that we displaced. These are people who worked alongside the U.S. Armed Forces in many instances. You are issuing a gripe over 0.006% of the population. That's why the bigger the number, the more dangerous it is. Doesn't work. And you are just trying to justify your over time this will add up quickly. No, it won't. Do you want to know why it won't? Because, number one, how many Afghan nationals do you think we could bring into the United States of America? 66% of the country is white, okay? 66% of the country is white. White people comprise, according to these numbers, what? Or white people overall are 35% of overall SNAP recipients, okay? Are you stupid? Do you think we're going to bring in 100 million Afghan nationals into U.S. soil? Do you think we're going to bring 20 million Afghan nationals to U.S. On U.S. soil? In order for the overall number to add up to the number of white recipients of SNAP, we would need to bring in tens of millions at the same percentage. We would basically need to take everyone from Afghanistan, bring them to the United States of America, and give this at the same percentage, give them SNAP. What are you saying? It adds up. Yeah, you can fill a bucket with little drips of water too. It's just going to take a long time. This is why the Republicans defund education. Is just alarming that this guy is looking at this number, saw me explain it, and still unironically turns around and goes, well, that's a big threat though. I don't think you understand. It adds up, big dog. No, it doesn't. It doesn't actually add up. Like, you are leaning into being duped by the data point in the process of me explaining why this data point is stupid. It's awesome that you got owned by Grandmaster Wizard, by the way. From personalfinancewizards.org. Grandmaster Wizard. I'm not arguing the specific one you've been discussing, but if you add up all individuals on this list that are greater than 20% per capita, that's probably a shit ton of people. No, dumbass, it's not. No, it actually isn't. That's the problem. You're still being duped by the stupid framing. Stop and think, please. The probably is the load-bearing statement here. And no, it's not probably. Read my last Easy way to explain this to the dumbasses. There are 42 million SNAP recipients. 37% are white. There are 15.5 million white SNAP recipients. There are 99,000 Afghani SNAP recipients. 45% over the 220K Afghan population. There are 156 white people on SNAP for every one Afghani on SNAP. No, I don't think he's going to care about this. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think he cares about this at all. Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. Notice how the higher percentages on here are oftentimes smaller nationalities like Somali, Afghan, Iraqi. These are somewhat smaller populations overall on U.S. soil. The top 3 bars adds up more than 100%. That should tell you something. Yeah, if they knew how to add, they would know. They would know what that means. The reason why these percentages are so high is because the number of total people on U.S. soil and the conditions that they come from in most circumstances, because they get refugee status, is pretty dire, but the number overall is very small. That's why the number big on there, okay? Number big on food stamp by ethnicity, okay? Because overall number adjusted to the entire population, very small. That's why I gave you a ridiculous example to help you comprehend it. Like if there were 5 people from Bhutan that showed up on U.S. soil and they were all refugees and they all needed SNAP, they would get 100%. But you would probably not make the argument that this is a devastating impact on the overall SNAP budget, okay? That just means small number of people from Bhutan. That doesn't mean a lot of people causing a strain on the overall entitlements programs. Yeah, also 90% out of all SNAP recipients are also born on U.S. soil. Like not even naturalized U.S. citizens, just straight up. Or no, I think it is 90% is naturalized and born U.S. citizens, right? Yo, I saw Mr. Vance cook your ass. Can I get a response? Yes. If you think that J.D. Vance, who was the blood boy of Peter Thiel, is capable of cooking anybody, you yourself are already cooked. It's more of an indictment on you, chatter, than anybody else. Oh yeah, 89.4% are U.S. born citizens and 6% are naturalized. Non-U.S. citizens are very, very small. Yes. Also, why does it matter what type of person is getting food? I mean, it doesn't. The only thing that list, if you look at it, shows you is like who is coming from what kind of financial circumstances. Yeah, the percentages only told us the socioeconomic conditions of different ethnic groups in this country. But this type of shit is exactly how white people broadly were in favor of eradicating social safety nets, because as demonstrated by even chatters in here, they see a mother that they suspect is not like them receiving SNAP benefits, albeit a tiny fraction of SNAP benefits in the grand pile, and they immediately go, whoa, we got to shut it down. We got to shut it down. Afghan motherfuckers are receiving SNAP. Guess what, dude? You want to know what kind of capital burn we engaged in on the Afghan society? The trillions of dollars that we spent on the global war on terror. It is not even marginal. The amount of food subsidy we pay for 100,000 Afghans on U.S. soil that have refugee status, if that's even the goddamn number, as opposed to the trillions that we spent killing them. This is why none of you are going to get health care, okay? Because of like that guy who want to sound smart, but don't realize that they're just looking at the data that is leaning into their bigoted opinions. Jamel Hill says, I really wish y'all would just admit you hate low-income people rather than constantly complain about how they shouldn't be afforded the slightest bit of dignity or convenience. Would it make you feel better if instead of getting to use DoorDash, let them walk to get their food? In fact, let's only allow them porridge and crackers, no salt, just tasteless communion wafers. Would that make you feel better about the roughly $40 a month that the average American contributes to funding SNAP? I just hate that, man. I just like, it's so gross. Like there is definitely a decent number of people that are like just above that line of ever needing SNAP that think that they are somehow so much better than the people that do need it. They just can't put themselves in the shoes of someone else that is less fortunate than they are. And they just constantly lord over with this unimaginable sense of entitlement. Like it's so nasty. It's such a nasty, stupid way to behave. I don't understand it. Like, what are we doing here? The people that are also on these programs oftentimes exhibit a sense of shame regardless, which they shouldn't. They should not. And that's also part of the reason. This is the reason, because Americans are so gross and so self-interested. Like, this is the wealthiest nation on the planet, dude. This is the wealthiest nation on the planet. And we can't even feed our neighbors. Like, what are we doing? There's already another $6 billion additional funds, $6 billion in contingency funds that the Republican administration is refusing to add on to the SNAP benefits pile right now. They have it specifically for this moment. And they're claiming we can't use it because they want to starve the poor. Yeah, over 50% are disabled or elderly. They got children. Like, you're talking about people who are going to not eat and skip a meal so they can feed their children at a time when we're dumping $40 billion to Argentina so Scott Bessent's bestie can continue making money off of the Argentinian debt that he purchased many, many decades prior. Like, that's the reality here. We're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on this ballroom, all this unlimited billions to Israel, and dumb Americans are literally like, oh, there's an American out there that's a little bit broker than me. I hope he like, that's the attitude that people have. It is so enraged. It's just so annoying. And the thing is, like, you don't need to suffer through the harrowing existence of being someone of the working class background that is objectively so poor that they need this kind of that they needs these kinds of programs to survive. You shouldn't have to do that. You can just have basic empathy. You can just think a little bit, close your eyes and imagine yourself in that predicament. It's gross, dude. And this is like, I could not comprehend it when Americans were doing this shit with like the student loan debt relief. Like, oh, I had to pay mine off. How come other people have to? How come other people get it taken care of for free? That's unfair. It's like, dude, what do you mean? It's like a cancer patient. It's like cancer patients who survived cancer united to make sure that this new cancer treatment never actually goes out to market because they have to suffer through chemotherapy. So you also have to go through that and maybe you have a 50-50 chance of survival. How dare you? It's weird, man. It's weird as people that go through this struggle and go through these like the financial hardship of having to pay student loans, then turn around and say, well, it's unfair if other people don't go through that. Race to the goddamn bottom, dude. It's so annoying. It's unbearable. Yeah, SNAP makes up around 12% of grocery sales nationally, according to the National Grocery Association, a pro-business trade group that represents grocers. Any extended gap in SNAP payments is likely to see layoffs and possibly even store closures. This is something I brought up as well. This is something I also brought up. This is not good for the 42 million Americans, but it's also not even good for like some of the big businesses in this country.
Why is the government shutdown not a both sides issue? Why are the Democrats to blame? Well, Democrats are using a short-term spending bill to push long-term policy changes that don't belong there.
Wow. Yeah, that never happens. Yeah, it's their only point of leverage, dumbass. It's their only point of leverage. And what are they actually advocating for? It's not like they're fighting so that they can fund Israel harder or some shit. They're fighting for Republicans. Again, Republicans and Democrats alike, but Republican voters and Democrat voters. Actually, I'll go so far as to say they're actually fighting for a larger share of Republican voters than Democrat voters, as a matter of fact, when they're trying to consistently aid, when they're trying to make sure the ACA subsidies remain. Who the fuck do you think uses those subsidies to make sure that their care is not triple the cost? What kind of downstream consequence does that have? Medicaid funds the rural hospitals that remain, if they even have rural hospitals to begin with. Yeah, the ACA premiums are going to explode, dude. Here's how much Obamacare prices are rising across the country. Change in 2026 monthly premiums without extra subsidies for 60-year-olds. Oh, the magnitude of the change depends on where people live, how old they are, and what they earn. Extended subsidies would cost the federal government around $23 billion next year and about $350 billion over the next decade. The real solution here, by the way, is obviously to not even extend the subsidies, but to have Medicare for all. But obviously, we're not even having that conversation right now. This is just a Band-Aid solution to make sure that people aren't getting destroyed. Another glaringly obvious weakness of the ACA, which was simply just an additional subsidy for private health care. The funding is at the heart of the congressional fight that has left the government shut down for nearly a month. Democrats have demanded an extension as a condition of their support for a government funding bill. Republicans have said they won't consider an extension until the government is reopened. Wait, there's the second part of the AI video where it says that white people are patriotic and they'll go and get a job. I can't believe we're back to like 80s style. Like this is directly the same argument around welfare queens, by the way. This is straight up the same exact argument.
Black woman, and it has to be a black woman for this to work. Angry black woman screaming.
Yeah, nearly 6 in 10 marketplace enrollees, 57%, live in congressional districts represented by a Republican. 78% of people say the tax credit should be continued.
About losing benefits to feed her 7 kids by 7 different daddies, and it's the taxpayer's responsibility. It's the same script. All screaming, all with kids in the background usually. And if you notice, if you go back and look on that montage, that's all from one account. That's all from a singular account that's posted all of those videos. It's the same videos that the original creator was referencing. It's AI. It's fake. Those are fake videos. If you're seeing nothing, if your algorithm is full of nothing but these types of videos, you're going to probably have a visceral reaction to it and come out and say something that sounds to the rest of us who haven't seen these videos as really fucking heartless, like Toast Lady, because you're furious that all these people are making videos talking about how it's the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of their kid. Here's another version with white people.
They just cut my stamps again. Took them right out from under us like we ain't even people. I gotta figure out how to feed these kids now. I swear to God, I'm about to go apply anywhere that'll have me.
They cut my food stamps. It's my patriotic duty to get a job. I gotta feed myself, my wife, and our babies.
Now get your shoes if you're going out.
I'm serious. I gotta do it.
They cut my food stamps in half last week. Half. Don't know how we're even gonna make it through till Friday. But you know what? This is my country. Ain't nobody else gonna feed my babies for me. It's on me now.
Almost damn near the same template as the black women, you know, panic, dirty faces, kids running around in the background. But the white people are doing their patriotic duty and they've got to do what they've got to do, and they're going to go apply to any place that will have them, and they, you know, they've got to take care of their kids now. Do you think this shit is an accident? Do you think that they're pumping out AI videos of black women talking about how they have 7 kids with 7 daddies and it's the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of their kids, and then the exact same template with a white person is, I got to do my patriotic duty and get a job? By the way, that was also one creator. The white AI, the white people AI EBT was also a single creator. Here's another one. If you scroll down just a few more videos in their grid, here's another one of the videos that they posted.
Keep it coming. You're doing great.
It's fake. It's all fake. That was the same creator that had a montage of white people complaining about EBT.
Okay, that one was funny. No, I'm just kidding.
Is posting AI videos of like fat people. It's a joke. It's all just a joke. Here's another example. This one might not be AI, okay? This is a different type of video that these people are seeing.
My food stamps just got cut from a little over $3,000 a month to $800 a month. And I'm pregnant with my 9th child, and I genuinely don't know how I'm gonna pay the grocery bill. The money we save by having the government pay for our groceries.
I don't think this is, I think this is also AI. What do you mean? She said she gets $3,000 in SNAP benefits and has 8 children so far and is about to get the 9th.
Groceries we were using to pay for our mortgage. But now if we're going to have to use our mortgage money to eat, I don't know how.
Here's another video from that creator, just a few videos down in her grid from that video. And I'm warning you, this is really gross. I'm just going to play a couple seconds of it because it's disgusting.
My husband made the semen soup, and I promised you guys I would give you an update on how it tastes after I tried it. So...
Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah, I see what it is. She's a rage baiter. Dude, what the is wrong with people, man? Yo, people are just so bricked by the internet. Even without AI, you got whole ass humans doing this.
She's not AI. She's just a shit poster. I mean, she's just posting ridiculous crap for views. That semen soup video, along with most of...
Like, the semen soup video is gross, but, like, the other thing that she's doing is parallel to, like, pre-existing insane statements. You know what I mean? It's like we have created an incentive structure to be a monster online. Yeah, it's so
per content gets zero engagement, like nothing. That Snap benefits video where she's talking about her benefits going from $3,000 to $800, which is ridiculous. Nobody gets $3,000 in Snap, but that's the point. She's a shit poster. That video got a ton of engagement. That was a huge, huge success for her. So you have, on the one hand, you have just AI farms pumping out a
yeah. How are you going to look at all this and then tell me in all sincerity that the Chinese firewall isn't an objectively good idea? It's to protect them, okay? It's to protect them from this, from our brain poison. God damn it, dude.
Videos that are playing to like visceral responses from people, black people talking about how it's the taxpayer's responsibility. And you notice how they don't say it's the government's responsibility. That's market tested for rage bait. Like, if you say it's the government's responsibility, the word government has a negative connotation. You might get people that agree with you on that one. But if you say it's the taxpayer's responsibility, that is more likely to induce rage because people are more likely to see themselves as a taxpayer rather than a contributor to the government or part of the government. It's market.
I hate you so much for making me agree with this opinion. What? The censored internet still allows VPNs mostly. There's the part Western narratives leave out. Yeah, but it's kind of like it's already discouraged because it's like difficult to get into it, right? That's the whole point. That it's already difficult to, you know, it's just one additional step you need to abide by. So many people are just not going to do it so they can see the metric ton of brain rotted slop.
Tested rage bait, and it's being pumped out 24 hours a day. And as soon as any one of these MAGA creators engages with it, they're going to see hundreds of videos like this. This is what we're up against because these people have zero media literacy, zero critical thinking skills. How do you possibly explain to these people, these videos look so real, and they're not. They're fake. They're AI. How do you explain that to people, that what they're seeing with their own eyes is not real? And they're basing their entire worldview and their entire political argument off of something that isn't real. We're out here arguing the statistical facts that less than 1% of people on food stamps commit fraud, that almost everybody on food stamps works, and that they get the average food stamp per month is $500. Some people get a lot less than that. But we're not arguing with people who are arguing facts. We're arguing with people who are been brainwashed by AI.
No, it's not. It's people that already had this opinion. They already had this bias. They already had encountered this racist stereotype. And now you got a metric ton of propaganda that looks real. And especially if you're already biased in that direction, you're going to be like, oh, see? You see? You're not going to second guess it because it agrees with you. It sucks.
This is a terrifying time to be alive. And this is why I've been talking about for years. I don't think a certain population.
They were doing like the Islamophobic rage bait as well in like Londonistan, right? Like they were like, oh, yeah. Oh, la ilaha illallah. Yeah, I'm here to do violence to the white Englishmen. That's why I came out here to use. You know, that's what they were posting up videos like that. Inshallah, bro, we'll take over the whites in England, yeah.
A certain subset of this population can handle it. I think we are devolving as a species. Technology is just too much for some people to have, because most of us look at those videos and go, this doesn't seem right. Like this looks really odd. It's really weird that all of these women are saying the exact same.
Yeah, they did it for the Palestine protesters, yeah.
Well, I'm just sad that it's over. I just don't know how I'll pay rent without my protesting money. Like, do I need to find a job?
Unfortunately, everybody, that is our future. Young 21-year-old boys and girls going out there and being paid to protest.
That guy literally thought that was real. Oh my God. It says Sora right there, bro. Oh my God. We're so cooked. Oh my God. This is what our family are watching on Facebook. Oh my God. Thank God my mom only watches like cute animal videos that are AI. And I'm like, Mom, that's an AI video you're watching. And she goes, I know, but it's cute. Oh.
It's real.
He doesn't know that's AI. Like he is fully convinced that actually happened.
The next wave of this is going to be the boomer that's also AI, by the way. The next wave of this is going to be not only this guy's AI, but the boomer reacting to it is also AI. And then that causes other boomers to go, see, a boomer who has the same exact look of me and the same exact feelings that I have is responding in the same exact way that I should be. Just wait, dude. I'm telling you right now, it's not just going to be the first image that you see that's AI. It's going to be the boomer that's reacting to it that will be AI as well. Metal Gear Solid 2 predicted all this. God damn it, dude. Oh my God, it's so cooked. We're so cooked. God damn everything. Everything sucks. Everything sucks balls, brother. Holy shit.